Hello everyone, it's Nick Lawson with cdc-TakeCharge services, and this is lesson 5 on how to build a more robust and user-friendly contact management application in Alpha software. Today what we're going to discuss is a general overview of form design and more specifically how to pass values from Alpha software to a web page so that you can query and search for and find data on the web. Let's start by opening up our people information form. Now we'll start by discussing the actual layout. This is the way it's been. The only thing I've done to the form so far is we've made a conditional object that looks like a tabbed form, which is kind of nice, and we went ahead and changed the background color so that we'd have better contrast and make it easier for everybody to see. Now, when you are designing a form, keep in mind that people typically look from left to right and top to bottom. That's the way our minds work. I know some cultures are different and they read information different ways, but for the most part, when you're designing, you want to think in those terms. The most important information, upper left, towards the right, down the page. So they sort of did that here where they have the information that you need for the contact on the left. However, the problem with this form is that when the form is loaded, the data is just in raw record order. There's no query that brings you to a specific person, so therefore to find someone you have to come over here to the Rolodex, click on a button, scroll through the list, find a person you want, select them, verify the information, write your note if you need to, open the map and get directions, go to their place, whatever. It's awkward to use and it's kind of disjointed. The way this should be designed would be the browse and the Rolodex should be on the left, since the first thing you have to do is query for the contact that you want. Then the information to the right, and then the various memos or contact activities listed below. Now, specifically, one of the things that they do with this little application they have written is they open a map to get an address for the specific contact. So here we've got we're in Lexington, and if I click on open map, it goes out and it finds a form which is on a form they designed called map and has an ActiveX object which displays a web page based on the information you pass to it. Now this is okay and certainly it works, but keep in mind that if you add ActiveX objects to your application and you then send it to third-party people to use, you have to register that ActiveX on their system. If that registration doesn't take place correctly, or if there are some other issues, it's going to lead to additional text of support problems for you as the designer. What I recommend is that you take and pass those values directly to whatever their default browser is, and you end up with the same result, in fact even better. Let's take a look at how that's done. First we're going to close our form, and now we're going to open our control panel, and we're going to go to People CDC. Okay, now what I've done is I've created a button here which I have set to hide. I'm going to go ahead and show it so that we can look at it. And the code for this button is pretty simple. People, which is a table that has the address for the contact, is the parent of the activity set, which is what our form is designed on. So we do a T equals table current, which the system knows is people. And then we set a variable address, ADDR, to equal the Google map with the question mark and equals, and then the different values out of the people table to build address. We then use system open and call the variable address, and it opens as in a Google map. Now the reason that works is that system open is an internal function in Alpha software that uses Windows file handles to open applications with their associated programs. HTTP tells Windows that whoever the default browser is, this address is for them. Then, using the Google query command string, we just tell it to open up Google and then open the address that we want. Pretty simple. Let's take a look and see how it works. Now we saved our form, so I'm going to close and go all the way out so that we can do it the way the form is intended to be viewed. There's our logo. And now here's our little control. Go to people information. We now have our button map and directions. And we are on Abbott, which is in New York. So, opens up. Voila, there we are. Pretty simple. Now, not only do we have the map like we had on the ActiveX, but we can go to satellite, we can check weather, we can check traffic. We can do a whole lot more here than you could in just that simple ActiveX, which had limited search capabilities. That's it for today. I hope you folks find this useful and helpful. And if you're working on a project that needs a similar thing, you need our help, you can contact us through this YouTube channel. Thanks a lot and have a great day.